Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston, Chester. So glad you're here this morning. We've got a great show lineup and special guests here in the studio. Got a lot of good information for you, but first, let's look at our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Water temperature is right at 85 degrees. High today is going to be 87, low of 76. Now let's take a look at our river reading brought to us by Sandhills Seafood and Restaurant right there on Highway 77. Looking at Apalachicola, Blountstown, looking on the screen there. It is about the same way it was yesterday. Just got a really slow drop to it. Not a lot of movement and all, but we're just getting a lot of rain all up and down the river. And a lot of those creeks and sloughs are just sort of feeding in there pretty fast, but it's controlled by the dam up there in Chattahoochee. Now look at the Choctawhatchee at Caryville. It's going to start dropping out a little bit tonight. It's going to drop down, both of them. The Choctawhatchee is at 7.2 and the Apalachicola is right at 6 foot. And both of them, they're real steady right now, so we're not going to have a lot of movement as far as, up and down real fast. So that's good news for the weekend. It looks like it's going to be pretty good fishing on the creeks. Now take a look at the tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemeteries. Well, first of all, look for the weekend. We're not having much tide this weekend. We're about to get a little bit of neap tide, not quite neap tide, but there's not a lot of flow this weekend. But today's going to be pretty good. High's going to be this morning right at 11:58. And that's ideal now for morning fishing, but these thunderstorms have been slowing us down a lot, but we still got a strong incoming tide. Going out is going to be low at 9:33 tonight, and I know the floundering boys, they don't like to flounder on low tide, but a lot of them are just going to get up at midnight and go at midnight as the tide is coming in. That's what the hardcore flounder guys do. All right, the marine forecast coming south-southeast at about 5 to 10 and about a 40% chance of rain. All right, take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back and welcome my special guest from Florida Forest Service over here in the far end. Y'all might recognize Andy Cobb. Good morning, Andy.
Morning, Coach.
Good to see you
Glad
again.
to be here. Good to see you.
All right, and Philip Griffith, Garrett, I'm sorry,
Yes,
Philip Garrett. And Philip, this Philip's first time on the show, and from Marianna originally.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a Calhoun County Forester. I've been there for about a year and a half. I'm originally from Marianna Malone area.
Okay.
And so I've been in this business for about 4 years.
Okay.
I graduated from UF, and it's a great job.
You went through forestry school down there and all? And,
yeah, I went to the school in Milton.
Yeah.
The satellite campus over in Milton. Yeah, it's a great school.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And does Andy hang around you much?
He shows up sometimes. He's in a different office.
He probably shows up when he gets hungry or something, don't he?
Yeah.
Andy's been on the show a long time ago. You've been on a couple times now.
I've been on a few times.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And Andy played football for us at Mosley, and one of our very first year or two in outdoor ed. We got it started back in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And Andy was one of that hardcore group of called the Dirty Dozen, about 12 boys. All right, now let's get to what we can share with our viewers and all with the Forest Service. Tell us a little bit about some of the things going on now.
All right. Well, right now we have 3 cost shares going on. The first one we'll talk about is the Kogan Grass Treatment Cost Share Program.
Kogan grass.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I've heard about that. There's a picture of it right here, folks. Tell us what it is, okay?
Well, it's an exotic invasive species from Southeast Asia, and it is one of the most noxious weeds in the world. It's covered millions of acres worldwide and 700,000 in Florida alone.
Yeah.
So this program helps to eradicate that and keep it from spreading. Will help with the cost share of herbicide treatments.
And that's about the best way to do it, just herbicide it. I mean, I know.
Yes, sir.
Andy, you've had experience with it. It's terrible, isn't it?
It is terrible, Coach. I mean, I had a small patch on my property, and it's just a constant battle just to keep it in check.
Yeah, yeah. And I heard about it several years back from a very astute, smart individual, all kind of worldwide experience, and he told me about it, and he scared me when he told me about it. So it's as bad as he said. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yep. And if you think you have it, it's not very hard to identify. It's about an 1.5 to 1 inch wide blade with an offset mid vein, which is the vein that runs up the middle of the blade. So if you think you have it, just contact your county forester. We'll go out and take a look at it, and we can get you signed up for this program.
Okay, and that's all they need to do, just get y'all come out and look at it.
We'll look at it, we'll map it, and then we'll get you signed up.
Okay, it must have a root system very strong or something.
It does. It's got it actually spreads rhizominously, which is an underground stem.
Yeah.
So
sounds like torpedo grass, sort of.
Yeah,
grass.
it's almost just like that.
How do you get rid of torpedo grass?
It's about the same way you get rid of coking grass. Just spray the crap out of it. Yeah.
That's what they told me one time. I went to a guy and said, "How do you get rid of stuff?" He said, "Move." But it is hard. It's tough. So you can herbicide it pretty strong.
Yep.
Okay.
You just got to stay on top of it for a couple of years with herbicide. You can get rid of it.
Okay, that's good cost sharing on that. All right, what's your other one now?
Our next one is the Southern Pine Beetle Assistance and Prevention Program.
Yeah.
Well, Southern pine beetle, it's a native pest. It mainly affects pine trees. If not kept in check, it can be pretty destructive. So
does it just go in? Does it bore into the bark and into the?
It does. It does. It'll bore in and it'll infect and kill the tree. We actually set traps out every year just to kind of get a feel of how bad the season's going to be on them. And this year, there's some places around Florida that's going to be, we think it's going to be hit pretty hard.
Really?
But this program is really geared towards preventing those outbreaks. So there's certain pine species that we can plant that will they're more resistant to southern pine beetle. And so
what are some of those trees? What's the real resistant?
Slash pine and longleaf are the two most resistant.
Okay.
Loblolly pine is the most. It has more. It's more apt to be infected. But so this cost share can help you with that. If you clear cut, we'll help you plant slash or longleaf pine. And there's some other factors too, such as if you burn your property, you're less likely to get an infection. So we can help with that cost. If your property is too thick, the density of the pines is too thick, we can help thinning.
Thin them out.
We actually pay you to thin it out, and you get to keep the profit from all the wood cut.
What size acreage are y'all, the normal people you go out and work with, what size acreage do they have? All various sizes?
It varies. For this program, you got to have at least 10 acres.
Okay.
Before we can do anything with it. There's different parts to the cost share, and some of them, like with the burning, we'll pay up to 200 acres, and I think with the thinning, it's up to 50 acres, and it varies.
Okay,
So.
very good, very good. And we got one more. Let's go and take a quick break. We've got another cost share program that we'll be with you in just a second. Okay, welcome back. Sitting with Forester Philip Garrett with the Calhoun County and Andy Cobb. And Andy, what's your official assignment?
I deal with wildland fire. I'm a wildland firefighter.
He's a firefighter now. He gets mad at him and puts him out. We're going to get to that in a minute, but we got one more cost share program. Philip, tell us about it.
Well, it's the Longleaf Pine Private Landowner Incentive Program, and it kind of helps to it's what it does. It helps to restore and improve longleaf pine habitat and the plant community. If you don't know about longleaf pine, it actually that ecosystem stretched from Texas to Virginia a long time ago, mainly in the southeast.
That's the original pine we had, right?
That was the original pine, and it's been harvested pretty heavy for about 100 years now, and about 4% of it's, about 4% of it actually exists.
That's all? Wow.
Yep. So this program is geared towards restoring that habitat in Florida. A lot of our endangered and threatened species rely on this particular habitat. So if you have longleaf pine, we can help to restore.
Are these some of the seedlings here of it?
Those are actually slash pine seedlings right there.
Okay, and then but this is how we plant. We burn it off, and then do y'all help on the planting, or just?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you want to replant in longleaf, we can help with site preparation, and then cost the seedlings and actually hire somebody to plant.
And you can always tell a longleaf, so a lot of times when it comes up like that, can't you?
Yep. It comes out. It's in the grass stage, and that's it bolting out of it right there.
Yeah, that's cool. I love to see those out in the woods and all. So, people want to do any of these three programs, they just touch base with y'all, and
yes, sir. Yep. Just contact your county forester, and he can get you going on that.
Really good deal, and then it's like a cost sharing, and y'all help out, and it's.
Yes, sir. Yep. We'll pay for a portion of it.
Off the top of your head, what does it cost just in roughly to plant these pine trees? Now, I hadn't done that in a year, so I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Well, it varies kind of what your property is like, how much site prep.
Yeah.
That can be one of the most expensive things
Site
about is site prep. So site prep, and then what quality of seedling you choose. I would say it probably runs from anywhere from on the low end $200 an acre to the high end probably $350.
Wow, that's not bad though. That's not bad.
Well, I mean, it's a good investment.
Well, it's a great investment. I agree. Okay, we got some more pictures. Hannah sent us some. Your boss Hannah, she sent us some pictures, and also Andy, tell us this is Point Washington State Forest and McQuaig Bayou Trail, and they're opening Friday, July the 12th. A reopening celebration. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, sir, I do. That's a trail that they have done a lot of work on out there at the State Forest that they're going to open up next Friday, and
Okay.
we're kind of it's a multi-use trail for horses, hiking,
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Well, we're going to go through it here. So she sent some pictures and all. It looks like it's been well developed and all as far as getting people to use it. Wide trail and
Yeah,
everything.
they've done a lot of work. There's, I believe the opening is at 9 o'clock on 21st,
Okay.
and they're going to have guided tours of the trail. It's going to be nice. It'll be a very good trail for the horseback riders and the hikers.
Okay. All right, that's good there. Now, let's get. I've got some more pictures. You recognize that one?
Yes, yes, I do. That's my office, Coach.
That's your office.
That's where I work.
I like that. Does it get hot in there?
Well, hopefully not. That's kind of we try to avoid getting hot inside that dozer.
You gave me some stats a while ago about last year and this year in Florida, in the forest fires.
Right. We have had in the past couple of years we've had a lot of rainfall, and it's really kept our wildfires down. Now this year in South Florida we went through a bit of a drought, and you saw this number of fires go way up along with the intensity. And just to kind of give you an idea, last year we had about, at this time of the day, we had about 1,640 fires.
Okay.
And they had consumed about 32,000 acres. And that's a lot of land. But now this year to date, we've had over 2,400 fires
50% more.
and
Wow.
consumed a total of 194,987 acres.
Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. It's just because of the weather and all?
Well, it's very dry. It was dry. It was so dry down there, and a lot of those fires are caused from people letting your yard trash escape, and so like to remind people to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Well, we're getting better about just going out and burning trash in the backyard, but people still do it.
Oh, people still do it, and when it gets dry like that, what happens is, it gets out, and I spend 40 days in South Florida, and I don't get to fish any in May or June. So it's not good for anybody, Coach.
That's the bad part right there. It's dry. Listen, I got a couple more pictures. Let's go and finish up on these pictures. Is that some of the same area? I mean, look at that black smoke and all.
Yeah, that was down near, I believe, Titusville.
Okay.
Outside of Titusville.
Man. What do y'all just try to cut your? I mean, it moves fast, don't it?
It does, and some fuels, the lighter fuels, the grasses and stuff like that, it moves a little faster. We just try to get ahead of it and put in some lines to get it down to bare dirt.
And you try to bulldoze it down.
And try to clear it out ahead of it and get it down to bare mineral soil that won't burn.
Yeah.
And the idea is the flame front hits that and goes out. We use helicopters there, you can see.
Yeah.
And airdrops. We have a lot of different equipment.
They hadn't put you on a helicopter yet, have they?
I don't think anybody wants that, Coach.
All right. And then you get your hot spots and all these sort of.
Yeah, after we stop the fire, or what we call contained, we're on these bigger fires, we're spending weeks, sometimes even months, patrolling our lines and spraying out these hot spots and improving our lines, to make sure that fire doesn't escape.
Wow. And that's why they're sort of in the stumps and all, those stump fires.
Stumps and muck. That organic material in the swamp, when it gets dry enough to burn, it just keeps burning.
Like a smolder.
That muck, that organic material becomes so dry that it'll just burn for weeks and months.
And I guess you don't get that dark. You don't get to go home and eat supper and all. I mean, you got to do
No,
that,
sir.
that sort of stuff.
No, sir.
You don't take a break, do you?
No, not much. You might get a relief crew, but
Yeah.
you never know what time you're getting. Never know what time you're getting done.
It's just fascinates me in a bad sense of the word fascination about the fires out west, year after year. And you and I have talked about this before. And I just on the news this week, it's been almost every daily reports from news about a huge, there's like fires going on.
And we're fire support for pretty much anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
We just deployed 2 crews of 41 people to Utah to assist out there.
Tell the folks, we talk about why there are a lot more fires out west than there are down in the south.
Well, the one thing is the weather conditions out there. Where our, let's say our humidity very rarely drops down into the teens. The people up there, they're fighting the humidity in these grasses and finer fuels down in the single digits, and high winds and periods of extreme drought. Like we've gotten a little rain here lately.
Yeah.
Those people up there are liable to go months without
rainfall.
rainfall.
And they don't clear out a lot of underbrush either, do they? They got a lot of fuel.
Yeah, and a lot of that terrain, you can't get the equipment in there, so it's done by hand because the terrain is so rough. So naturally, it's harder to construct lines, and the fires get bigger, and it's a tough place to fight fire.
They're big. Let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at our fishing game time before we get back with Philip and Andy looking at our time today. Brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Our time is 4:02 to 5:02 this morning, and this afternoon 4:25 to 6:25. Really good time to go. That tide's really moving that time of day. All right, now, one thing we want to say, again, each county has their own forest
Yes, sir.
park
Yeah.
ranger, and they can contact each county, right?
Yes, sir. So every county in Florida has its own county forester.
Okay.
The best way, if you don't know the number for your county forester, is to Google Florida Forest Service, and and that'll bring you up, and you can go to your county and see who he is or she is and their number. If you want to contact me, I can put you in contact with any of them. My number is 850-674-8073.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. That's some really good stuff. I'm going to look into some of that stuff. So far, I haven't had any Kogan grass yet up in that neck of the woods, so it's bad stuff. It really is. Now, your old high school buddy, one of your closest friends in high school, we're going to mention him real quick, Jason, because you sent me this yesterday.
Jason
it's going to be up on the screen. Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach, this is the natural progression of a BCS national champion and All-American football player. I can't confirm it, but that might be the largest box of fish ever caught in Bay County by a BCS national and 2-time All-American lineman from Florida State. And here, tell us about where did that fish come from?
Now that I don't know.
Okay.
That's something that he caught that his mother had sent to me actually, and there he is back in
the day,
back in his glory days.
Okay, and here he is today.
That's the natural progression. You go from an All-American, and then you retire, and you catch fish, and you fry them.
And Jason was in that class, and we just had a great class.
Yeah, he was in the class with us in that inaugural.
Tell us what he does now.
He is if I'm not mistaken, an offensive line coach for a high school in South Georgia.
Yeah, and he comes down every now and then if he wants to call you.
Yeah, he called me last time, man, and I hated I couldn't go fishing, but we got together with Terry Tatum, I believe was in the class with us too.
Yeah, he was.
And we got to hang out a little bit, and it's always great to see those guys.
Yeah.
You spend so much time with them when you play football, and as you get older, everybody kind of separates, but it was really good to see those guys.
He might be the only All-American I've had in football. I've had some All-American baseball players in outdoor ed, but he might be. He was a good player at FSU.
Oh yeah, man, he was really good.
On the national championship team.
Really good.
Okay, now tell people how to prevent fires.
How to prevent fires? Well, the number one cause of fires are man-made.
Yeah.
So, you got to be careful with your campfires. You're out there camping, you're making s'mores, watch that fire, don't leave it. The next day when you go home, make sure that fire's out. Stir and drown it. And I see a lot of people too that, especially in the fall we have coming up, leaves fall, people are raking up, cleaning up their yard, or after a storm, and they do some burning, to burn that yard debris up. Well, just don't leave it.
Yeah.
Don't set it on fire and think you need to go do some grocery shopping, and then you come back and your house and your neighbor's house are burnt down.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
And be attentive.
You said as a state we learned a lot from our '98 fires. That really, you said we learned a lot from the fires in South Florida.
In South Florida in '98, we had really bad fires.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of homes, and I personally believe that this year we would have been in the same situation if it were not from the lessons learned in '98. We have communities that are more fire-wise. The debris is cleared away from their houses instead of right up against it, like it was in '98. So it's a hard lesson to learn. But if it hadn't have been for '98, we would have done a lot of damage this year, I believe.
How often should people get their fire lanes and all cleared? You know, out in the woods, say out in the woods and all. They have. How often should you clear those fire lanes?
If you have a fire line that is there to prevent fire, and it depends on the fuel type.
Okay.
You just want to make sure you keep it down the dirt and make sure that you don't have grass. Make sure that fire can't carry across it.
How wide should it be roughly?
That's a tough one, Coach. It depends on the flame length. Our formula we use for putting out fires is our lines have to be twice the width of the flame height.
Okay.
So if you have an 8-foot flame length, you need 16-foot line.
Very good, very good. Philip, did you learn a lot in school and now getting to apply a lot of it in real life?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's some good education, isn't it, learning that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was a very fun degree to get.
Okay, and so you're in the Calhoun County area.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. But originally from Jackson County.
Yes, sir. I'm from Malone.
You're still a homeboy. So listen, we're about to run out of time. I want to thank you for coming on. Great job, first time, and always good to see you.
Hey, you too. I enjoyed it, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
All right, and we got a video we're going to talk about later, but we don't have time to get about that video, so we'll show that later. Folks, thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors, and do some good things with your friends and all to help out other people, and have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.